Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Yo!
It is Pixelbinders here, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Spirit of Justice. When we left off, we're still going to battle in court, trying to figure out this whole orb situation.
Against Phoenix, of all people.
Yeah. But do we have evidence that can break the stalemate of what I can't exactly remember because it's been 23 and a half hours, but I mean, it has to exist because otherwise we're kind of doomed. So,
yeah.
The defense would like to present a piece of evidence to the court. A piece that will finally break this stalemate. Oh. Well, you've sure piqued my interest. Let's see what you've got. Alright. I will now prove that this is in fact the Founder's Orb. Okay.
We're pulling a U, Phoenix.
That's right. We have to have some kind of proof that is the Founder's Orb. And I mean... I mean, I guess it would be... the fact that because I mean, if I remember right,
because the stalemate is that it could have been made in Japan.
That's what I was gonna say is the fact that it could have been made in Japan and it was just tied there. But do we have? I mean, I guess my best bet would be the research notes about the box that it was locked in and it being, you know, the frickin' the song of devotion, dance of devotion song. Because I don't think there's anything else that we have that, you know, solidify, because we already used the email to prove that. So I guess it would be probably... Even
though we used the research notes to present the fact of the carving in the first place, and that's what started this whole stalemate? Why would we present it again?
I just don't have anything else. Because, I mean, the email is... That's just that. That doesn't give us anything that proves it is, in fact, the Founder's Orb. Robbery report doesn't do jack on that one. The glasses don't do anything. The moss, the raincoat.
What about the transfer agreement?
That doesn't prove that that doesn't prove anything about the orb. That just proves the statement that he was saying.
It's he's calling it the Founder's
Yeah, but
Orb.
we're having to prove the fact this is the Founder's Orb. That's what the big dispute is. That doesn't prove that it was made in. That it was there. The only thing I can really think to present is the research notes again. Well, that's not it.
No. See, I didn't think so.
And just how does that piece of evidence prove they're like as the Founder's Orb?
Welcome to how other people feel, Phoenix, when you do this.
Not by any means that I can fathom.
Sorry, Apollo, but I have to agree with the boss on this.
Me too, actually.
Me three, friends.
Yikes.
Time to think that one over again, Mr. Justice.
Yes, Your Honor. Evidence that can break this stalemate. Maybe it doesn't exist. Because there's nothing else we have this of. Maybe it doesn't exist. There doesn't seem to be anything we can use, at least not at this point.
Well, unless we can find something, this trial won't be going anywhere. Oh yeah, he's still sweating about the...
That was it. That's much better.
Oh my god.
What's his deal?
Everything.
I have a suggestion. Why don't we consider this from a different angle? I'm listening. What if the Defiant Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic? Oh god.
Excuse you.
I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright.
Consider the orb
transfer
agreement.
I never know where you're going with many things.
Consider the transfer agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if it will come to no harm. What if, as the last part suggests, this was written under duress? That would render the agreement null and void. What are you suggesting, Mr. Wright?
Yes.
While you were on your little cave expedition, I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident. And there was something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. Namely that his accident might have actually been murder. What? Murder? It's always murder.
It's always murder. Yeah, there's no accidents in Phoenix Wright games. Are you kidding me?
Mr. Wright, you do realize that statements are not to be made lightly. Are you suggesting the doctor was murdered by the Defiant Dragons?
Yes, but follow me on this for a sec. Why would they murder him if they need him alive to get the orb?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. The books that came tumbling down were from the archaeology shelf.
Archaeologically?
However, among the mountain of books was a single volume of psychology. What's more, there was some blood on it. And you feel this is important because the books that came tumbling down were from the top shelf, the archaeology books. We know this because the doctor's books were meticulously organized by subject. Archaeology took up the entire shelf, so that psychology book is completely out of place. Come to think of it, the shelves were arranged quite carefully.
Yeah.
It's also worth knowing that psychology books take up only a tiny part of the bottom shelf.
In arm's reach.
Yeah. You might wonder why a book on psychology was found amid the pile of archaeology books. But I believe I can explain that with a single out-of-place... I can explain what that single out-of-place book was doing there. The doctor was struck from behind while sucking a psychology book from the shelf. And that's when the blood got on the book? Precisely.
But then what about the rest of the books?
And to make it look like an accident, he was buried under a mountain of archaeology books.
How did they get the books on him, though?
They climbed the ladder and pushed them all off, I guess. But wait a second. This is all just speculation, right? Or do you have proof that it was murder? Of course I do.
Oh boy.
You do?
It's Phoenix. What do you expect?
On a hunch, Detective Sky examined the doctor's head wound. She found that he'd been struck by the corner of some object or another. Wait, what? A wound like that couldn't have resulted from a fall to the floor, you know. Do you understand what this means, Mr. Justice? The wound makes it crystal clear that Dr. Buff was murdered. What? Oh, my hair.
Well, that was unexpected. Not really, but you know. Who'd have thought we'd break out of the stalemate like this? He pulled the ladder right out from under us.
Still, if he thinks that's enough to make me break back down, he's got nothing coming.
Listen, you.
Even if the case of death was cause of death was murder,
Highly accomplished lawyer that we're facing.
What makes you think it was the Defiant Dragons? You should know better than to hurl baseless accusations. That's all I do, actually.
Yeah.
Did you forget who you were up against, Mr. Justice?
Exactly.
Huh? You didn't actually think I'd come to court without witnesses and evidence, did you? What are you talking about? I would like to request further testimony from the plaintiff. Specifically, I would like the court to hear how he saw one of the rebels leaving the crime scene. He saw what?
Nani the fuck?
Oh yes, that. You told me to shut up until you said "and that," right?
If he can prove it was murder, that's the end of our client's right to the orb. Did he have this up his sleeve the whole time?
How could Mr. Wright do this to us? He was just waiting to spring this trap.
Yeah. You've activated my trap card.
You've activated my trap card.
Murder case.
This trial has taken another unexpected turn, as do all cases with Mr. Wright involved. But I must mention, Mr. Wright, that you have yet to identify the murder weapon.
The object used to commit the murder was not located at the scene of the crime. The murderer likely disposed of it elsewhere. And now we have an autopsy report. Fuck! We were doing so good for so long. It's like, sure, there's a dead body. We didn't have to defend the dead body.
Well, I never thought we'd be deliberating the issue of murder at a civil trial.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, people. Right, Mr. Atchison Wimperson, your testimony, if you please.
Of course.
You were already standing there. Why'd you walk away and come back?
I had to fix it. I'm back. Prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled by charismatic oration forged in the crucible of campaign battles.
Why is he look at me all of a sudden?
I don't know. It's a rough balance, man.
It's Dimmadome. He didn't have. You turned him into Luke at me.
Sorry, it's a rough balance. Like I said,
it's Luke at me. He was like.
Not even I was walking alone, lost in thought. I passed by a doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. a rebel.
You gotta focus on that southern.
Yeah, he was running out of the front door.
Oh.
It was around 10 that night. Sure, that must have been him fleeing the scene of the crime. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence.
Oh my god.
That is my promise to you. Still campaigning up there.
Yeah.
So the plaintiff saw a possible suspect fleeing from the doctor's residence, and it was within the window of the estimated time of death. Seems super sus to me.
That's a rebel. What in the world were you doing there then?
I still can't believe it's his name.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
great.
There's a problem, but I'll wait a minute. It seems Mr. A Rebel was loitering about Cryan Village that day. There's evidence he was in the doctor's study as well. Isn't that right, Mr. Justice?
Yeah.
You mean the suitcase?
Yeah.
Exactly. He must have been in quite the rush to leave that behind. Oh, and by the way, Your Honor, Mr. Rebel just happens to be sitting in the gallery today.
Oh boy.
See, as I'm trying to escape as we speak.
I just picture him just like,
Yeah.
like just.
Bailiff, don't let that man get away.
Fuck! Right, you backstabber, why are you doing this to me?
I thought we were bros.
So we're bros, man.
All right, the counsel/defense may question the plaintiff/witness once more. The fuck is this court case? Please proceed, Mr. Justice. I don't get paid enough for this.
All right.
I should have retired long ago.
So, there's one problem that doesn't make sense to me unless he was told afterwards, but the problem with this statement is that he shouldn't know who Dats is.
Really?
The only way he would know is if Phoenix told him who it is, because no one is supposed to know who he is because, you know, he's trying to...
Phoenix probably
Lay
told
low.
him.
I'm gonna press this because this just seems, unless the game just kind of glossed over that or just went with the fact that Phoenix, but how would Phoenix know who he'd seen that night without having another face to tie it to? Like, that doesn't quite make sense to me.
Well, I mean, Phoenix knows Dats, so...
Yeah, but I don't think that...
Maybe
What?
he described him to him, and Phoenix was like, "Oh, that guy."
I don't know. Let's see what's going on here. So, where exactly were you when you saw Mr. Rebel? Right here, under this tree. I saw him dashing out of Dr. Buff's front door.
Like, he's probably described him to Phoenix, and Phoenix was like, "Oh, that's Dats," you know?
And he didn't notice you. No, I was hidden by the tree.
Is it really all that important to know from where the plaintiff saw Mr. Rebel?
Sure it is.
It always is.
Yes, I believe it matters a lot. I asked that it please be added to the witness's testimony. And when I saw Mr. Rebel. Huh.
Why were you there? That's the
I mean,
thing.
I guess it's something that we can press and be like, but why? What were
Yeah.
you doing under that tree? A lack of lateral thinking. That is a politician's downfall.
What?
What? That is why, if I am elected, I promise to think outside the box.
What?
The question was, what were you doing under the tree, Mr. Titian Wimperson? I suppose I can expect a plebeian such as have to understand my grand design.
What?
Oh yeah, try me, oh Lord of Plebs.
Oh.
Mr. Titian Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your grand political vision. Now, let's have the rest of your testimony, if you please. I can tell you after the upcoming election.
He just dodged the question.
Yeah, you did.
Well, he is a politician.
Yeah. I want to see.
What was he doing standing under a tree at 10 at night?
I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna.
Like, normal people don't do that.
I'm gonna get the hint loop.
Nightshade don't do that. He saw Mr. Herbal from under that tree? Apollo, maybe there's some sort of an inconsistency there.
I wonder.
Why don't we review the evidence?
Yeah, maybe there's something we've overlooked. Okay, let's take a look at this. So, number one, we'll get ourselves right here, but let's try and take a look at things. So, that ain't gonna be boring, that ain't gonna be boring. Let's see here. it's so weird because of the way they've got everything set up. I can't tell if that's just a bush or if that's just elevation. I don't know.
Oh.
Because, I mean, the camera angle wouldn't match for that. But we'll come back to that because we have, obviously, the diagram study.
Is it the tree?
I mean, it's weird because it says... I don't know what they mean by second floor area. Are
Remember,
they saying
there was
that
the
it is the
second floor. That's where the kid is.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It is a weird layout.
Research notes, that ain't gonna do anything.
No.
Or transfer agreement, Sarge's drone. None of these will do anything. So the only things I can really think to even throw out at them are the study photo.
The photo of his dad, obviously.
Or the study diagram. I mean, it's a very limited space. I could say that, you know, he couldn't have been able to see the rest of the floor area where he was unless he was over there in front of the window. I don't... Okay, this is one of those moments where I'm gonna...
He's not saying he saw the body. He's just saying that he saw him come out. You know?
It just...
So...
No, that's not the study photo. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and back up a little bit then.
Please take a look at this dead body.
Because, you know, I'm trying to figure out, because, I mean, as they've pointed out in the loop, it's obviously something that's inconsistent with him being under the tree.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure what. Because my brain is not the best. It's obviously the picture of my dad.
That's what I said earlier. And you just totally ignored it. And then you used it.
That's probably because I was stuck in brain mode trying to...
Does that mean you didn't even hear me when I said it? Because you just did it.
I might have. Like I said...
Rude.
It could be... Because I get in these weird modes where when I'm really confused, I'm stuck in thinking of what in the frick it can be.
I know.
Because it doesn't make... Well, it's not the study diagram. I am now... absolutely at a loss for what exactly I am looking for.
Yeah, when you were trying to figure out the diagram thing, I'm like, it's, you know, it's gotta be the picture of our dad, and you didn't say anything.
My bad.
And then you used my own joke.
It's obviously our badge. My beloved attorney's badge. Wearing it gets me raring to go. With my cords of steel.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Whoa. Your voice was a little...
What do we have here? I was under this tree when I saw Mr. A Rebel. There's nothing here that really...
No.
I don't...
Maybe it's not important.
But the loop said it is important. Athena literally said we should check our evidence.
Yeah, but... What?
That's a wonderful question.
Like...
Because, I mean, the time matches because he said that he saw him around 10 p.m. That matches the autopsy of 10 to 11 was the time of death. So that doesn't do anything. The robbery report was from a year ago. The glasses.
No.
I don't see anything. The email.
No.
I don't see anything. There's no timestamps on the email. Glowing moss. I don't know.
No.
The raincoat.
No.
Sarge's drone. That don't do nothing. The transfer agreement. I don't know if it doesn't make any sense.
Is your snow?
I don't understand.
So what?
This is where my brain fails.
And you already presented the picture and the diagram, right?
I presented the picture and the diagram. The study photo and study diagram. So I have no idea what else.
What?
All right, one more time, Athena. Let me hear what you have to say.
You saw Mr. Herbal from under that tree?
Yep.
Apollo, maybe there's some sort of an inconsistency there.
I wonder.
Why don't we review the evidence?
Yeah, maybe there's something we've overlooked. Apparently we're overlooking it by a fucking long shot because I see nothing. He's running out the front door. I was under this tree. What do you mean you're under this tree? Okay, you were. What is the inconsistency of you being under a tree? I don't get
it. I don't. Oh,
okay.
The people are probably just like, oh my god, why don't you get it?
Screaming at us, but it doesn't. What is the inconsistency of him being under a tree?
Like, what?
I don't know.
Like, so he's under a tree. All right. So. The raincoat has nothing to do with him seeing Dats, though. We're talking about Dats, not Dr. Buff. So anything related to Dr. Buff it doesn't belong.
We don't have anything related to Dats. He was unrelated to this case until just a few minutes ago when Phoenix decided to blurt his friggin' mouth.
He broke the bro code.
Oh my god.
He brought him into a court case.
I just don't get it. I'm absolutely completely dumbfounded.
I don't.
Arm transfer agreement.
No.
Nothing. All right, you know what that is?
Oh my god.
That's gonna be the point where I'm gonna have to try and look up what the. What is going on
I'm at a loss too because I am equally as slow.
And I'm gonna feel dumb as soon as I look it up. So I'm gonna be right back. Okay, apparently there's more we have to press.
Which I had a hunch was the thing.
So, did you notice?
Excuse you?
Did you notice anything unusual?
Bitch, want to run that by me again?
His behavior was incredibly suspicious. His eyes were darting all around as he ran off in total panic. As soon as I saw that, I knew he had done something, and it probably wasn't good. Despite that, you still didn't report to the police? Who would have thought he had killed Dr. Buff? Not me, that's why I didn't report him.
So the witness didn't notify the police. Is that an important statement, Mr. Justice?
Yes, it is. Yes, it's important. I wish the witness had to do his testimony. I blanked out. Yeah, sure, why not? All right. So now we have this whole.
This man.
I had no idea Dr. Buff was dead. That's why I didn't call the police. You had no idea he was dead. In other words, you knew nothing about what had happened? I'm truly ashamed of myself.
What?
What? There's been a gruesome murder in my beloved village. What a fool I've been. I was thinking only of the village's future in my world peace. It seems my earnest attitude and industrious nature have come back to haunt me.
Why was that in orange? I don't get it.
Only a politician would try and pass off self-aggrandizement and self-deprecation.
Lolo, you think this is how all politicians will be from now on?
We're all doomed if they are. If you don't mind, I'd like to continue with my testimony. Alright, so maybe it's this then. Because I didn't go that much farther, but this could just be a red herring, but I don't know. I know that Dr. Buff was dead, that's why I didn't call the police. I'm gonna save before I make any assumptions. I probably should look a little farther and see if they presented something to anything. Because I just went, oh, they pushed another thing, got another statement I haven't seen before. Obviously it's includes. Because let's see what if anything's changed between them now. No, they're still going on about that. So I think.
You're like, if that's true, then did you figure something out?
Is on something.
No, that is new.
Let's take another look at the evidence, Athena.
That was new. It was the same point, but it was new dialogue. Before it was her saying stuff.
Had no idea what Dr. Buff was, so I didn't call the police. But I mean, the big window's there.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. That's.
I had a feeling that's what it was going to be.
Mr. Addition Wimperson, rather than Mr. A Rebel, wasn't there something else that should have had your undivided attention?
For real.
Like what? Oh, yes, of course. A politician must also keep his finger on the electorate's pulse and focus on the... Sorry, but you're way off. I am?
Jesus. Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
Absolutely.
I say that phrase a lot.
If the witness saw Mr. A Rebel from this position here...
always need so much explaining.
Then he should have also been able to see the doctor's body. After all, it was right next to a huge window.
I believe you have a point there.
With a body that clearly visible to the witness, it's unthinkable you wouldn't have reported to the police. Would
the witness care to respond?
Why are you?
He's
Why do you have?
sleeping.
He's
He's sleeping.
Did he fall asleep?
Mr. Tishenman,
That's a sleep bubble.
Yeah. You okay, dog? Oh my god, he almost fell.
What the?
Mr. Tishenman,
Huh? Oh, there are many sides to an issue. What did I ever do to deserve this? In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistency in the witness's testimony.
Again, he avoided that.
Yeah. Mr. Jacobson, did you really see Mr. Rebel? Yes.
Whoa. Okay. What the?
Hold on, whoa. Where do you think you're going? Oh, I thought I'd return to my seat, seeing as I had already answered the question. This isn't some small town hall debate, so you just stay right there until I say we're done through. I'll have you run that by my campaign manager before I...
Glare.
Mr. Tishon Wimperson, I think it's time for you to come clean. Huh? Does this mean he didn't see Mr. Rebel? As your lawyer, Mr. Tishon Wimperson, I advise you divulge that matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option. Are you sure about this? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let my strange rumors get out.
Oh my god.
Don't worry. You won't suffer any blowback for what you're about to reveal.
blowback? I'm not sure I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright.
Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing untoward will come of this. I promise. Now then, Mr. Justice. Remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death? Come to think of it,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Emma, who was the first one to discover the body?
About that, whoever it was, it seems they wanted to remain anonymous.
What?
It happens now and then. Some people would rather not get involved with the police.
Wait. You're not saying that... Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
The anonymous call was him.
The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was... my client, Mr. Politician Wimperson. What? You don't say. So you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen, quite admirably, if I might say so.
Phoenix, why are you on the side of the sleazeball?
Isn't that right?
He's gotta have a plan for something, right?
Yes,
Like he-
indeed. Yes, he does. I mean, what? In a society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous action. But I don't remember among them. But I don't number among them. That's why I do my duty as a concerned citizen. One might call me the model citizen. One whether standing above the rest.
The model citizen.
What a real standard bearer he is reporting it anonymously. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Justice.
What? That smirk? Smug Phoenix? Oh, that's not good.
Wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body? Oh, you mean Mr. Rebel? He would have been leaving the doctor's house right around then. Wait, that means... Yes, it does. In short, what my client witnessed was Mr. Rebel fleeing the scene of a heinous murder. No! And that's not all. Based on what we've heard so far, Mr. Rebel looked exceedingly suspicious, and that's putting it mildly.
He always looks suspicious, though.
We already know that the Flying Dragons threatened the Doctor with bodily harm. And now that they've killed him, the so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void.
Wow, okay. Even though it was
It was a long
Apollo, if we don't come up with some sort of counter-argument.
And what sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Rebel who killed the Doctor?
Yeah, evidence.
That move had desperate written all over it.
It's all I've got, so I'm going with it.
Fair enough.
Evidence? I suppose it's true that I don't have any. Ha! I knew it,
I knew it.
but I'd have another witness. You do. You should know I always come fully prepared, Mr. Justice. And my new witness will provide testimony proving Mr. Rebel's guilt.
You don't always come fully prepared, Phoenix. There's been a couple times where you're just like, I have nothing.
Yeah.
A new witness. I wonder who it could be.
Very well. Will you please summon our new witness?
And we're gonna see this new witness next time.
Oh God, this is.
Who's it gonna be?
This is a pain in the behind.
But it's a wonderful one.
What?
I don't know.
A wonderful pain in the butt.
Absolutely.
Sure.